Today, we're learning how to cook on an open fire with a real chef. We've got butter, we've got oil, and we've got chicken and potatoes.
It is going to be an amazing dinner, and what's even better is Matt Dean of American Campfire Creations is not only going to cook it for us, but he's going to show all of us how to cook on a campfire.
Now, it's time to build the fire. Most important part of cooking over a fire is having a fire, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so what kind of wood do we have here?
So it's a mix of southern hardwoods. So
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure of the type of wood it is, but it is all hardwood, so it burns a little slower. Typically for sitting around a campfire, you want your wood to last a little longer instead of going through it.
Now, do we need to split it down at all?
No, I'm just going to burn it like it is. I have some tinder here.
Okay.
Kindling to do in the middle.
I'm gonna give you the kindling. Why don't you get that started in the bottom there, and then we'll pick out the wood we want to put on top and go from there. Now we do have a hatchet if you want to cut some stuff down.
I do as well.
This is so exciting. We are getting ready. I know it's just building a campfire, but guess what? This is really, really cool because we are gonna have an incredible dinner tonight off of this fire right here. Okay. So we got some kindling in there, and then you have some cheaters.
I do. I use these.
Okay. So we're gonna put a cheater down underneath, and that's just gonna get a nice hot spot right in the middle and keep it going so we don't have to struggle with it.
Then we'll go ahead and do what we were talking about, the 4 stack
Okay.
on each side.
Well, let's get the right wood for the 4 stack. I think this is a good base because I got another one right here that'll go on the other side. There you go. There's the other side. And now these two are just about the same, and they can go across the other way. How's that?
Yeah, let me grab that other little one over there.
This one here, you want to put that one in there too?
That one. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Just like that.
Okay. So you think a 4 stack is better than a TP stack?
Well, I mean, it's all about your preference, right? So I like the 4 stack for this size of wood,
Okay.
the larger pieces. But if it was all maybe this size, I personally think it would be good for that.
Okay.
Like that.
Now, while we get this, we got it started. One of the things that you did right when you first got here is you took a 5-gallon bucket, took it over to the water, and you have a bucket of water right next to it.
Oh yeah.
Is that a safety precaution or what? So you do that for safety. Even though we got a hose hooked up that we'll reach over here,
Yeah.
we're good. We have it right next to us right there.
Exactly. Yeah, right there. And just in case it gets way too hot, you need to die it down a little bit. I can add a little bit of water and, safety.
Okay.
And I also have a little bit of water underneath the fire to catch any of the hot embers.
That drop down through. Okay, we've had the fire going for, I'm gonna say 20 minutes or so.
Yep.
Starting to get white. I'm ready to cook.
So you see all this, flare up right here?
Yeah.
You can't cook over this because as soon as I put that chicken over this, it's gonna flare all up and burn the chicken.
Okay, so we really want this to work for a while and come down. Now, it's very windy today.
Yes.
How is that affecting us?
Well, the wind is causing the logs to have more flare up, of course.
Right.
And it's actually not helping our cause with getting coals because it's making the wood burn faster instead of slower.
Okay.
So that's why we still have these giant pieces and they aren't burning down to those smaller pieces.
Now, should we maybe put another piece on?
Now I want to go ahead and see if I can get these to burn down a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and put the grate over. And
Okay.
then we'll see how the chicken reacts to where we have it.
Okay.
Yesterday we prepped the chicken. When I say we, it was all you. I just stood by and threw the trash away. Tell them what you put on the chicken. Can we just go through just an idea? We will put the recipe below. So
Right. So it's a pretty easy marinade. First, it was a whole chicken. I broke down the chicken in half, removed the spine, whatnot. And then what I did was I made the marinade out of olive oil, not extra, but regular olive oil, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, fresh rosemary, lemon, and then there are some pieces of lemon juice, and there are pieces of lemon in the bag with it as well. Whole cloves of garlic, some shallots, and a little bit of gluten-free soy sauce. So,
and
some honey.
And some honey. Okay. And this sat overnight. And my job was, you had put it in there. My job was to rotate it this morning, which I did.
Good.
And now we're going to start the potatoes. We are using red potatoes, and you told me to get red. There's different sizes. I bought the little ones.
That's perfect.
Perfect? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Since we're doing them over the campfire, smaller the better, so that way they cook up a little easier. Since we are cooking them from a raw state, we want to make sure that we get them on there before we do the chicken, because these are going to take a while. Okay. Normally when I'm out and about, I will actually microwave these for a little bit in a little bit of water to sort of steam them essentially before I go into the iron skillet. And that just is a tip to cut down on the cooking time. It only takes about 5 minutes. But we're going to go ahead and slice these. I'm just going to do them in half.
I need a knife like that. That is a super sharp knife.
Yes, it's a Wusthof. It's very sharp. Great knife.
Okay, put some more.
More. We're going to do all of them.
Might as well, right?
I'm good with
Yeah,
it.
you'll have leftovers.
They'll fit. Yep. I love leftovers. Not that I'm going to be here.
Well, they freeze up okay too.
Yep.
So I'm trying to cut these to uniform size, so that way they all cook to the same doneness. So this larger one compared to this smaller one, I want to make sure when I go to throw them in my pan, they're about the same size. And then I'll just drizzle these in a little bit of oil, some tri-seasoning of salt, garlic, a little bit of pepper, I hope that's okay.
Yes.
And some onion powder, and then fresh rosemary. And then we'll go right into the iron skillet with it. Let those be cooking while we get the chicken on. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with a little bit of oil. It's a mixture of avocado, grapeseed, and canola oil.
And you just put it in a spray bottle.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to get an even spread with the oil when I'm doing it out of a spray bottle. Plus I can have a nice big container of it.
Right.
Easy. A little bit of seasoning. This is the salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. I go a little heavy on my seasoning.
I can smell the garlic.
Yeah, give it a toss. Evenly coat it. Alright. And then, alright, so we're going to add a little bit of fresh rosemary to the potato mix, and then I'll also garnish that a little bit on top of the cooked chicken afterwards for some presentation. Just pull these right off the stem.
I love rosemary. I do put them in potatoes. Now I make things quickly in a Ninja Foodi. Very different than what we're doing here.
Yeah, convenience-wise, that might be better. But this is going to taste just as good.
It is finally time to start cooking. I can't wait. So what goes on first?
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put the potatoes, the red skin potatoes, right into the iron skillet. The sizzling is what you're looking for. That means the pan's ready. Okay, so right now what we're doing is we're getting the nice sizzle on the red skins. So what we'll do on this side, in this grate, down in the fire pit here a little bit, is we'll push the coals from these burning logs underneath there to keep the heat going. That way that once we put our half chickens on there, we can get them up to the temperature, the 165 internal temperature. So right now, this is ready to go. I'll put a little bit of oil right here on my grates, dab my half chickens so that they don't get too much flare up from the hot coals, and we'll go ahead and get those cooking. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of our oil on the grill grates.
My job, right?
Yeah.
I got a job, here we go. Is it gonna flame up like that?
A little bit.
There we go. More?
Yeah, a little bit more. Perfect, right around there. There we go. All right, time for the chickens.
Here we go. This is the best part. We're gonna put the chickens on the grate.
Sorry, I would have given you some gloves, but
That's okay.
flip it over and do the other side.
Let me just get another double. They're not a sponsor, but Costco paper towels, the best. Okay?
Perfect. All right, so
Okay.
we're gonna go skin side down, right onto the grate.
Now, when I do chicken parts, I always do the skin side up. Why are we putting them down?
So what we want to do is get a nice crispness on the skin as it's cooking over the coals. And instead of having it burn, we'll flip it over and bring it up to temperature from the other side.
Okay. So now we have the chicken on, we have the potatoes on. I see you put a cover over the potatoes. Why do we do this?
Trap in the residual heat, make it act sort of like a stove.
Like a little stove in there?
Yeah.
Now, how often do we need to move those potatoes? Because all the heat's on the bottom, right?
Right, so I don't want the potatoes to burn, so what I'll do is I'll give the iron skillet a shift around every couple of minutes just to keep the temperature moving around the pan and then around on the potatoes, so it's all cooking evenly.
Now, I'm seeing something else here that's kind of bothering me, and that's the flames are coming off the side from the wood still. Does that affect you? Do you want to like put a little drop of water on there to put it out, or what do we do?
So on this side, because I'm cooking in the iron skillet, it doesn't really affect that. If that was happening over on the other side where the chicken is cooking directly over the coals, then that would be a problem. But because the potatoes are inside of the pan, I shouldn't have any issues with the flare up.
So we didn't get it on video, but what we just did is we picked up the chicken and you grabbed it with your oven mitt here, and we moved some of the coals over.
Correct.
What's really surprising me is how few coals are on there. You don't really need a ton, right?
No, and then with the enclosing of the fire pit here, all the residual heat is staying right here. So yes, there's heat coming from the bottom and from all sides. Right now, the internal temperature of the chicken, I'm using a Bluetooth thermometer through a company called Youngling. So that way I can check the temperature on my phone without having to take the cover on or disturb the chicken in any way. It's telling me that the internal temperature right now is 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're trying to get it up to 165 to 170. 165 is safe to eat. So we'll just keep track of that. And as of right now, it gives me a ETA based off of the temperature that it is right now. It's still calculating the time, but I'm gonna guess somewhere between 25 to 30 minutes. Whole chickens usually take a while. And of course you wanna make sure they're cooked all the way through. In the meantime, I have my iron skillet over here. They're above the flames of my other wood that I wanted to throw on to continue getting a fuel source for my chicken. That can sit here and just keep cooking over this open flame like this because these are safe. And we'll just wait on the chicken to be done.
So what we're doing right now is actually recycling some of the coals. There is a hole in the bottom of this cooking area, and it falls out and goes into this pan. Well, now he's taking the hot ones off the top of there and putting them underneath the chicken. This is taking a while, so I think I have time to take a quick drive on the Punisher. They are the sponsor of today's video, so we want to thank them for that. If you want information, see the link below. $400 off.
All right, so right now we're at 104 degrees internally out of 165 that we need to reach in order for the chicken to be completely done. I haven't gotten a calculated estimated time yet for it to be done yet, which it would tell me, but as of right now, it's just showing me 106 degrees.
It's time to start the sauce. Let's see, what do we have to do here?
Okay, so I'm gonna just chop up a little bit of parsley. That'll go in at the end and also use as a garnish for the chicken and the potatoes. But essentially what we'll do is, once the potatoes are done, we'll take them out of the iron skillet, and then I'm gonna deglaze that with a little bit of white wine, add some chopped garlic, chopped shallot, and then my butter and lemon, with just a little bit of squeeze of the juice. And then I'm also going to roast the red bell pepper right in the coals and get a nice char on the outside, and then I'll remove that charring, chop this up, and use that to put over the asparagus as a garnish.
Wow, and
So,
we're going to show you every step of the way.
right, so this will stay just like this. We're adding some lemon, get our shallot going. This will go right into the sauce. I like to use shallot as opposed to regular onion because it's not quite as harsh of a flavor. And I don't really need so much for a sauce, so it's nice that it's smaller as well. All right, so we got our shallot chopped. We'll go ahead and do our garlic. So I'll probably use about 3 whole cloves for this. Three large ones there.
Watching someone else cook is just great.
All right, so we got our chopped garlic, chopped shallot. Do some fresh rosemary. All right, we got all our ingredients ready. This is going to be a lemon butter sauce. Should go delicious on the grilled whole chicken. Now, so we're getting some nice color on the garlic and shallots. Before the garlic starts to burn, we'll go ahead and add our white wine. What we're going to do is we're going to let the wine reduce and let the alcohol cook off, so that way all we're left with is actually just the flavor of the wine itself. So I'm going to go ahead and add the lemon juice. Watch out for any seeds. Reduce it just a little bit, and then we'll add our butter. A little bit of salt. So we'll take our butter. A little bit of salt and pepper. So the asparagus is quick. You don't want to overcook this. Really all you're trying to do is put a little bit of color on the outside and get the center to sort of a translucent look in the middle. You want the color to stay a nice vibrant green, kind of like how it is right now. You don't want a pale green asparagus. That is not appealing on the plate and usually overdone. So So this won't take but a few minutes under these hot coals, like over these hot coals like this. Just make sure they're all spread out evenly so they're all getting the same amount of heat. So the asparagus just got done. It's nice and tender. Still has a nice vibrant green color to it.
Save some for your wife.
She loves asparagus. So we'll go ahead and save that one for her. Plate the chickens. What I'll do is I'll quarter these. Where to go? Plate the potatoes. Iron skillet's nice and hot. I've got the potatoes out. I'm going to add my garlic and shallots right into the pan. The rosemary's in there as well. We'll go back on the fire. I've also got my red pepper roasting right in the flames of the fire down here. We'll let the garlic and shallots cook just a little bit. Super tender. Pretty much falling apart. All right, what would you guys like for your tray? Breast or leg? Breast?
Breast for me.
Leg for me.
All righty. Breast. Leg.
I have to say that this chicken has just incredible flavor. Is that from the marinade overnight?
Yeah, so all that flavor just had a chance to really soak into the meat overnight, and that's one of the things that a big tip that I let people know, like if you really want a lot of flavor in your food, marinate it overnight.
Now, do you cook like this every day?
So we don't always have time, just like everybody. We have busy lives, so taking the time to do a couple hours on the fire pit isn't always easy. And making food like this, would be easier to get out at a restaurant somewhere. But, for me, this is a passion. And the wife likes for me to have food prepared for her because she has a busy life as well. So I will spend a Sunday or Monday actually getting food like this together, whether it be over a fire pit or in the camper, and have it ready for us throughout the week.
Well, I got to tell you, you too can eat like this every night, even if you're an RVer. Whether you're full-time or part-time, it doesn't matter. Because I got to tell you, we just proved to you that it can be done.
Absolutely. I mean, and it was worth the wait. Like Matt said, it took a couple hours, and not everybody has that kind of time. I'd love that you prep your foods all week and then you could just pull it out. And you said you can put a lot of what we made on a barbecue grill, regular grill.
Right.
But this is so worth the wait. And we just have to thank you so much for preparing this for us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you what, your recipe, we're going to put it in the description below, right?
Yes, you
are.
So
anything that we have on this plate, you can do too. A little time, a little patience, a little fire management, and we can get it going, right?
Right.
We are in Orlando, Florida at the Thousand Trails. What a beautiful facility. What beautiful weather tonight. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patti Hunt, saying, have a great rest of today.
And an even better day tomorrow.